All right, everybody, welcome back. I am pumped for this one. We are taking a deep dive today into the world of the Mediterranean horseshoe bat.
Ooh, yeah, the Mediterranean horseshoe bat.
We've got some awesome research here pulled from pasted text.
It should be fun.
Yeah, we're going to see what makes this bat so interesting and what kinds of problems it's facing out there in the world.
Yeah, it's incredible how much we can learn about, a whole ecosystem just by
Yeah.
looking closely at one of the creatures that lives in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's just start with the basics. When you hear horseshoe bat, what do you think of?
Well, I mean, it's all in the name, right? They have this nose leaf.
Yeah.
It's made of flesh and it's shaped like a horseshoe.
Yeah.
And it's, it's not just for looks.
Right.
Like-
It's got to have a purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually the central part of their echolocation system. And the Mediterranean horseshoe bat in particular, has, compared to other horseshoe bats, it has like a really pointy and slender nose leaf,
Right.
which suggests that their echolocation is like super precise.
Wow. Yeah, so that's one really unique feature.
Yeah.
What else makes this bat stand out?
Well, they're medium-sized, so like, about as long as your index finger.
Good.
And they weigh about as much as a few coins. Their fur color is kind of interesting too.
Yeah.
It's like light brown to grayish brown on the top,
Right.
but like underneath they're almost white.
Oh, wow. So it's like they're wearing like
Yeah.
a tuxedo, a little tuxedo.
Yeah, a tuxedo with the right shirt.
They're nocturnal, so you know they're out there in the...
Right. Dark.
Okay, so...
Speaking of being out, these bats got to be like in stealth mode, right?
Yeah.
Almost all the time.
Yeah.
Because they're nocturnal.
Yeah, they're like the
They're-
ninjas of the night. Yeah. Right. So they're these little ninjas of the night. I've always kind of imagined bats like swooping and diving to catch their food in the air.
Huh?
Is that what the Mediterranean horseshoe bat does?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay.
They actually do something that's called gleaning,
Okay.
which is they basically pick insects
Wow.
off of surfaces,
Really?
like leaves or even the ground.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So they're not like swooping through the air. They're like
Right.
landing and like
Yeah, they're like picking them off.
picking little things off the ground. That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
But how in the world can they be that precise,
Yeah.
in the pitch black?
Well, that's where their echolocation comes in.
Hmm.
They're making these calls that are
Yeah.
super high pitched. We
Mhm.
can't hear them.
Right.
They're somewhere between 105 and 114 kilohertz.
Wow. Okay, so that is way higher than humans can even perceive.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
All right. So where would you actually find these fascinating creatures?
Oh, I mean, their name kind of gives it away.
Yeah.
They're mostly found in the Mediterranean,
Okay.
Southern Europe, North Africa, parts of the Middle East.
Okay.
That's their jam.
So you won't see them like on a beach sipping cocktails.
No, you won't see them on a beach sipping cocktails.
Okay.
They prefer a different kind of dwelling.
Right.
Like limestone caves, abandoned buildings, old mines. That's the kind of stuff they like.
Ooh. So like the darker and more mysterious, the better.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Sounds like a perfect Halloween hangout spot.
Yeah.
So they're not like loners, are they?
No, they're not loners at all. They like to hang out in groups.
Right.
They form these colonies.
Okay.
That can be anywhere from a few dozen bats to thousands of individuals.
Wow, so thousands of bats in one place.
Yeah, it's a lot of bats.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And I bet during those colder months it gets pretty cozy in those caves.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Right.
They hibernate in these deep caves in the winter, and they all cluster together to stay warm, which helps them conserve energy, too, so it's a really good strategy.
Right. Makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Now, sadly, it's not all fun and games for these guys, right? There are some serious threats that they're facing.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is true.
Okay.
The Mediterranean horseshoe bat is actually classified as near threatened right now by the IUCN.
Okay, so they're right on the edge.
Yeah.
What's pushing them towards that danger zone?
Well, a lot of it is habitat destruction.
Okay.
As humans, we're kind of expanding everywhere, and
Yeah.
we're encroaching on their territory. So that means like urbanization, deforestation, even things like tourism can cause disturbances in their homes,
Right.
in their caves.
Yeah. That's so sad. What about the impact of like pesticides?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that must be a huge problem for any bat that eats insects.
Absolutely. Yeah. When
Yeah.
you have like widespread pesticide use in agriculture,
Right.
it just decimates the insect population.
Right.
And that has a direct impact on the bat's food supply.
It's like, it feels like these creatures are just bombarded by threats from all sides.
Yeah.
And I imagine climate change has to be a factor as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Climate change is another serious threat. It
Yeah.
can really mess up their hibernation patterns.
Right.
And it also shrinks the availability of their roosting sites.
It sounds so bleak. But there must be some good news, too.
Well, yeah, there's definitely good news.
Okay.
There are people out there working hard to protect these creatures.
Okay, that's good to hear. What kind of things are being done?
Well, for one thing, there are a lot of initiatives focused on protecting the bat's habitat
Okay.
and giving legal protection to their roosting sites,
Hmm.
which, helps make sure that they have safe places to live.
Awesome. So it's not just about, like, studying them. It's about
Right.
actively trying to protect them.
Yeah, absolutely. There are also like research programs going on that are monitoring the bats' populations and, looking at the impacts of these environmental changes on the bats to
Yeah.
make sure that, we're doing the right things to help them.
Right. So even, like, small actions could have a big impact.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Right.
Yeah, even small actions like public awareness is huge. Just letting people know about the bats
Right.
and the problems they're facing
Right.
can make a big difference.
Wow. I think it's so cool how such a little creature,
Yeah.
with its unique looks and all these behaviors
Mm-hmm.
can teach us so much about, the health of the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. The story of the Mediterranean horseshoe bat, I think, really shows us that even these tiny little creatures
Right.
play such a big role in the ecosystem. And when we learn about their problems, we start to see just how connected everything is in nature
Yeah.
and how important it is that we try to protect it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the next time you hear anything about bat conservation, think about the Mediterranean horseshoe bat and all the stuff it's going through.
Yeah, for sure.
What can you do to help?
Yeah, that's the question.
Right? You can maybe do a little bit of research, support a conservation group,
Yeah.
or even just, like, spread the word.
Yeah, absolutely. Every little bit helps.
Every little bit counts.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the deep dive today. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.